The Lion King was directed by Jon Favreau and is the remake and new adaptation of the 1994 Walt Disney animated classic film. And in case you guys are unaware of the story of The Lion King for some weird reason, it basically revolves around a young cub known as Simba, who lives with his father Mufasa and his mother Sarabi, along with a huge pride of lions. And young Simba is excited and very positive of becoming the new future king. But after a tragic incident is caused by his father Scar, Simba is exiled out of the Pride Lands and later on goes through many struggles along with meeting new friends, and later finds out that he must return back to Pride Rock in order to take his rightful place as king and defeat Scar. Before I get into talking about this movie, I want to talk about my love for the original Lion King. Just in case if you guys are unaware for some weird reason, I even uploaded a review of the original Lion King. It is, without a doubt, my favorite animated movie of all time. It's my favorite Disney movie of all time. The Lion King is an extremely powerful movie, and it's sort of funny on how some people today are unaware and how powerful this movie was back then. And I know this sort of sounds funny coming from a person who wasn't even born in the 90s, but I can seriously see on how much of an impact this movie was back then, and how it still holds up incredibly today. The Lion King is an extremely important film. It's like the top tier of Disney, actually. So, and I've always wanted to see a live-action retelling of this film, and I was really curious to see what Jon Favreau would do with this film, and I was honestly very excited. And I'm going to give you my honest, full-on opinion on how I felt about this movie. I sort of walked out disappointed in this movie. This movie's not terrible, honestly, because before this movie came out, I've been looking at the feedback in this movie, and this movie has been getting so many negative reviews. This movie is not terrible. It's not good or bad. I think the right word for this movie would be okay. I'm not going to go out and say this movie's good. I'm not going to say it's bad either. This movie is just fine. It's okay. There are elements that were entertaining, but for the most part, this movie is literally just a beat for beat ripoff of the original Lion King, technically. I mean, this movie doesn't necessarily have a purpose of existing. It's literally a script for script movie. It's the exact same thing with just photorealistic animals. That's the only difference. And by the way, the CGI in this movie looks absolutely astounding. It is probably some of the best CG work I've ever seen in a while. And Jon Favreau is really good at having his own like CGI crew members and stuff like that working with his films, just like The Jungle Book, which was an amazing film from special effects standpoints and storytelling in general and direction. That movie was fantastic. Here in The Lion King, Jon Favreau doesn't necessarily have his own vision like he did with the Jungle Book. And that's what I wanted from this movie. I wanted some new elements in The Lion King, and I was disappointed by that because, like I said, this movie is literally a script for script remake. There's not really anything new. If you've seen the original Lion King, you've technically seen the remake already, because you're not really going to get anything new out of this film. We have the same exact characters that are from the original film. We have the same exact incidents that occur. And honestly, one big issue that I had with this film, and this is probably my biggest issue aside from this movie not having new elements and just being a script for script movie, I didn't really feel that much emotion in this film, actually, like I wanted to. And that's something big. That's honestly a big flaw with this movie. It really is, because the original Lion King, one of the reasons why that movie was so important and so powerful is because of the emotion that was delivered towards the audience. We could feel for the character of Simba, and we could really relate with him and why he was so heartbroken and crushed when his father Mufasa was killed. And other elements in the original Lion King, because that movie was so powerful. In this movie, I didn't really feel that much emotion, honestly. I didn't find myself crying at key moments, and I honestly felt like that was a big letdown. And let's talk about the performances in this movie. James Earl Jones does a fantastic job as Mufasa in this movie. I'm not gonna lie, he does a very great job. He really delivers in this film. And the kid as Simba really does a really great job too. The voice acting in these characters are really good. And Scar, honestly, I'm gonna be kind of honest, Scar was kind of wasted in this film. Especially the song Be Prepared, which is in this film. It's just very shortened, which was very disappointing for me, honestly. Like, if you were going to shorten the song, why add it in the movie at all? You could have just had something like Scar just stare at all the hyenas and just be like, be prepared for the death of the king. And that would have worked. But in all honesty, I'm not trying to trash down on this movie. I did have fun with this movie at some key elements. I did love the CGI. The CGI is easily the best thing in this film. The scores, the scores that were remastered, that were in the original Lion King, they were very, very well done. I did like Rafiki, even though he wasn't as energetic as he should have been, like he was in the original Lion King. Which, by the way, he's one of, if not my favorite character in the original Lion King. Rafiki is a very important character. So I like that the film was able to deliver somewhat justice to this character, but I wouldn't say it's completely faithful to the original performance. Now let's talk about Timon and Pumbaa. Honestly, kind of a surprise. Just a tad for me. I actually did like them in this film. I don't know if I'd like them as much as I did in the original Lion King, because Timon and Pumbaa, they're honestly like some of the best supportive characters in the history of Disney. But I gotta say, Seth Rogen and Billy Eichner really did pull it off with the performances in this film, because they really did make Timon and Pumbaa really funny, even if these characters were written the exact same way they were in the original film. I still felt like potential came out of these two characters. But I don't really have a problem with the performances in this movie, because most of the performances are honestly pretty decent. They do deliver. And the CGI is fantastic. Those are easily the best things about this film. The performances and the CGI, and how everything just looks. It makes you feel like you're in a completely different world, and everything absolutely just looks photorealistic. And the time and effort it took to make every little detail look right was absolutely astonishing. There is so much that's right about this film, and so much that this film was missing. And it's easy to say that. Easy, very easy to say that. And honestly, this movie was just made for cash. It was honestly just made to make money and nothing else. And some of you may be thinking right now, some of you may be watching this video and be thinking right now, dude, what did you expect? What did you expect from this movie? It obviously was going to be a shot-for-shot movie and a script-for-script movie. What did you really expect? What did I expect? First off, this movie was made from the man who brought us the 2016 Jungle Book. And Jon Favreau delivered his own vision into that version of the Jungle Book. And the original Lion King is one of my all-time favorite movies. It's a classic. I expected him to at least deliver somewhat of his own vision to this film. That's what I expected. But in all honesty, I don't want to get too negative with this film. Because I was entertained in some certain key moments. The characters are fun, but although we already know like every single character that's in this film, it's not anything mind-blowing, since we already know the characters and what's going to happen. But the characters were fun. And like I said, I really liked the performances, and the CGI is photorealistic, and it is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. It makes you feel like you're in Africa, like in landscapes and different environments in Africa, and it's amazing. It really is. And that's something I really have to give the filmmakers credit for, because the CGI it took to put into this film probably took a little time. It probably took some time. And that's something I really appreciated for this film, about this film. They really took their time, and Disney is really good at that stuff. Disney is really, really good. The big thing that fails is that Jon Favreau doesn't necessarily have his own vision in this film, and that's what I really wanted to see. He technically made the same thing. He technically made The Lion King, the same exact movie, if you really do think about it, just with photorealistic animals. And that was the biggest disappointment about this movie. But again, this movie is not terrible. And if you honestly want to see a movie that's the same exact thing as the original film, I think this movie will be perfect for you. But if you're the kind of person who honestly just likes to nitpick at things that are the exact same things as the original film, you could possibly have a hard time watching this movie because you already know everything that's going to happen. But depending on what kind of person you are, like if you're a Lion King purist like me and you absolutely love the original film, and if you could already really predict what's coming, and if you don't necessarily care for much flaws or retelling of the story, you'll probably enjoy yourself. I'm gonna give The Lion King a C+. Like I said, not good, but not bad either. This movie was okay, honestly. I encourage you to go see this movie and check it out for yourself and form your own opinion. Especially if you want to go see this movie. Go check out this movie. Because honestly, it's probably the biggest movie opening of this month right now. So yeah, go check out The Lion King for yourself and let me know what you thought about the movie in the comment section below. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this review. You guys are the best. Love every single one of you. Look forward to my next review that I'm going to be doing of Inglourious Basterds. Can't wait to talk about that movie. And I'm so excited to get back to talking about Quentin Tarantino films. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this review. You guys are the best. Love every single one of you. Look forward to more reviews that will be coming very soon. And as always, if you're new here and you like what you see here, why not hit that subscribe button to join the EliB/520 community. And I will see you next time. Peace out.